Welcome to the Ultimate Culture Showdown! Today we're ranking human civilizations based on money, education, family, religion, crime, health, and most importantly, how much they actually contributed to human flourishing. That's right, we're pitting entire cultures against each other like a messy reality show, except with more human sacrifice and fewer Instagram influencers. So, let's get into it. Culture number 1, Sparta. Ah, Sparta. The ancient civilization that looked at childhood and said, yeah, let's make this a death match. These guys had a very, let's say, unique approach to life. When it came to making a living, Spartans didn't work. They had slaves, the helots, to do all the boring stuff while they focused on looking terrifyingly muscular. Who needs an economy when you've got abs that could cut stone? And education? Well, let's just say if you were a Spartan kid, your school was basically a survival reality show where the losers got, permanently eliminated. If you weren't strong enough, you might just end up wolf food. Great for making warriors, terrible for making poets. As for family life, if your baby wasn't a prime specimen of Greek genetics, it got a first-class ticket to the bottom of a cliff. That's right, Sparta had a very strict return-to-sender policy on newborns. Nothing says family values like an early introduction to gravity. When it came to religion, the gods loved a good fight, and Spartans were all about that. Sacrifices, war, and a whole lot of flexing for Zeus. And then there's crime. Technically, there wasn't any, because everyone was too busy fighting or lifting. Stealing was actually encouraged, so long as you didn't get caught. Great life lesson. It's not wrong if you don't get caught. Health? If you made it past 30, congratulations. You were practically immortal. But most didn't because you know war. What did Sparta contribute to human flourishing? Well, they gave us the word Spartan, a bunch of motivational posters, and some serious gym inspiration. So, thanks. Culture number 2, the Vikings. Now let's talk about history's favorite raiders, the Vikings. The original travel influencers who took seeing the world way too seriously by setting it on fire. When it came to wealth, Vikings had an interesting approach. They had trade, farming, and crafts, sure. But let's be real, their real moneymaker was looting. Basically, they were entrepreneurs with swords. What about education? Not much of a school system, but storytelling was huge. If you could tell a great saga and swing an axe, you were basically a scholar. And family? Surprisingly wholesome. Viking women had rights, divorce was a thing, and families stuck together until Dad left on a business trip to raid England. As for religious values, the Norse gods were basically Marvel characters with more drinking and fewer CGI fights. Valhalla? Just one big eternal frat party. And crime? If you messed up, you could be declared an outlaw, which meant anyone could kill you. Imagine getting canceled in real life. How about health? Tough folks, but most didn't live long. If you weren't killed in battle, you gotta freeze to death in a fjord. What did they contribute? Seafaring innovations, epic mythology, and a bunch of cities they tried to burn down, but somehow still exist today. Culture number 3, Edo period Japan. Ah, Japan during the Edo period, an era of strict order, honor, and tea. Lots and lots of tea. When it came to money, samurai didn't work. They just collected a paycheck for looking cool. Merchants, on the other hand, made all the money but were treated like dirt. Classic rich but no respect problem. And education? Super literate. Books, poetry, and philosophy were all the rage. Basically, Edo Japan was that quiet straight-A student in class who also knew how to wield a sword. Family life? Extremely structured. Respect your elders or else. No arguing at the dinner table unless you really wanted to test your sword-dodging skills. As for religion, a mix of Shinto and Buddhism kept things pretty zen, unless you dishonored your ancestors. Then it was time for the whole stab yourself dramatically thing. What about crime? Basically non-existent. If you broke the law, you either got executed or had to write a really sad haiku about your regrets. And health? Rice, fish, and tea kept people living long, unless, of course, you found yourself on the wrong end of a samurai duel. Contribution to human flourishing? Sushi, anime, and the idea that you can be both incredibly disciplined and incredibly polite while carrying a lethal weapon. Culture number 4, modern America. And now, let's bring things to the present with modern America, the reigning champion of chaos. Let's talk about money. Work until you die, or start a podcast. Either works. How about education? Exists, technically. Quality ranges from elite Ivy League to I learned history from TikTok. And family? The traditional family unit is either thriving or dead, but depending on who you ask. Meanwhile, Thanksgiving is a battle royale of political opinions and casserole critiques. When it comes to religion, anything goes. You can worship God, science, or your favorite billionaire tech bro. As for crime, more lawyers than criminals. That says a lot. And health? Great medical advances. Just hope you can afford them. Contribution to human flourishing? The internet, Hollywood, fast food, and memes. If aliens ever visit, this will be our legacy. All right, folks, it is time for the final verdict. So, who wins this totally subjective and slightly ridiculous contest? Well, when it comes to the very best culture ever in the history of the world, the winner is, drumroll please, Edo period Japan. Low crime, high literacy, long life, and a strong sense of purpose? Hard to beat. And the worst? I'm looking at you, Sparta. Cool in a 300 kind of way, but throwing babies off cliffs and dying at 20 isn't exactly thriving. But hey, every culture has its ups and downs. Whether you prefer Viking raids, Japanese discipline, or American TikTok dances, history proves one thing. Humans are weird. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and let me know what culture you'd want to live in down in the comments. See you next time.